North Island off to Point Loma as well, and that's where the prime ministers of the UK and Australia are there. They're expected to talk about a submarine deal, which is why they're actually here in San Diego, because we do have submarines here in town that they will all be working with and working on a deal, and that's getting a lot of international attention right now.
Right.
So many international stations, news stations waiting for this as the world kind of watches what the president and the other leaders come up with as far as the details of the deal.
They're bringing the stairs over to Air Force One. It won't be long before we see President Biden climb down. Kind of an interesting side note here. You may notice anytime you've seen an arrival or a departure of Air Force One, it's never at a terminal at an airport, and that's due to security reasons. If for some reason they need to get the president and Air Force One out quickly, they would not be able to do that if the plane pulled right up to a terminal. So they always bring the stairs out to them, and this would allow for a faster arrival or departure for the president. So that's something that you'll notice at Air Force One. They never park at a terminal. Also, the plane, deceptively fast, reaching top speeds of up to 600 miles per hour, which is on par with Boeing's 747, which hit speeds up to 570 miles per hour, even though this is a much larger aircraft.
And you mentioned earlier 4,000 square feet. That is a very large aircraft. It fits a lot more than I thought, Heather. You mentioned the gym, a shower,
a bathroom, his own office. You might be wondering who travels with the president on Air Force One. Well, that includes, of course, his security detail, members of the Secret Service, but also a doctor, a cook, any special guests that are invited, and any members of the president's media pool. And
you did notice, obviously, a couple cars rolling up as well. That likely will be the vehicle that will take the president over to his next stop. We want to send it over now to Kelly Hessedal. Kelly's been live at the tarmac for us throughout this morning. And Kelly, what are you noticing there? Who all will be there to greet the president? I'm curious who we're looking at.
Yeah, you know, every time you cover one of these, it's kind of a different story. Right now, I'm watching a lot of the White House press pool get off the plane, and usually you don't see that till after the president departs Air Force One. But I saw a ton of, reporters, camera people getting off the plane. It looks like they're not going to waste any time. And there is President Biden there at the top of the stairs. You see him right now walking down the steps. Looks like he's going to immediately get into that vehicle and head out to the naval base in Point Loma. We thought maybe he would come over and answer a couple of questions. You know, sometimes they do that after they land in different cities, but it doesn't appear that that's going to happen. It looks like he may just get inside that vehicle and leave. However, I can tell you, unlike other arrivals that I've covered, it doesn't appear that there are many dignitaries here to greet the president. We do know later today at the San Diego International Airport, some dignitaries will be there as he leaves for Del Mar for a DNC reception tonight. But you can see him live there right now, shaking hands with some folks there at the bottom of the staircase outside of Air Force One. We expect in just moments he will get into that vehicle and will head out in the motorcade toward Naval Base Point Loma. I can tell you there are several CHP cars out here, several CHP motorcycles getting ready to escort the president. As we've been talking about, this is his second visit to America's finest city in less than 5 months. So today, he's here to talk about the submarine deal and to meet with the leaders of both the UK as well as Australia. You see him there. It looks like he's about to get into this vehicle and be led away to Point Loma. But